Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. Today, we're going to be talking about PNC Bank in 2026 and how you can get up to $100,000 in business funding with this one institution. Now, a lot of things have changed since last year when it comes to PNC. They did reduce their list of credit cards that they offer, but this is still one of the best places that you can get business funding with, especially if you build a deposit relationship. So today we're going to be discussing the data points that's required, and we're going to also show you step by step how you can get business funding with this institution. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. PNC Bank is one of the largest financial institutions in the US with more than 2,000 branches and nearly 60,000 ATMs nationwide. Currently in 2026, they are ranked the 7th largest bank in the country, but that does fluctuate depending on when you're watching this video. PNC offers a full suite of financial products, and that includes everything from personal and business checking accounts to high yield savings accounts to credit cards to mortgages, personal loans, and investment services. What makes PNC interesting is the kind of business funding they offer, specifically their no-doc business credit cards with 0% APR. Now, you can potentially access limits as high as $25,000 on multiple business credit cards. PNC also offers two main checking accounts. That's going to be the business checking and the business checking plus. The basic business checking account has a $12 monthly service fee, but that can be waived by maintaining a $500 average monthly balance, or spending $500 on your debit card, or receiving $500 in merchant services deposits. It includes 150 free transactions per month and up to $5,000 in cash deposits without additional fees. Now, if your business is growing and you need more capacity, the Business Checking Plus will bump those limits up to 500 transactions and $10,000 in cash deposits, though the fee will also increase to $22 unless it's waived by a higher balance. What's especially attractive is that PNC often offers welcome bonuses for new business accounts. For example, you might earn $200 or $400 just for meeting a few simple criteria after opening your account. Now, PNC isn't perfect. There are some drawbacks to be aware of. While PNC's branch network is large, it's not nationwide. So if you live in a state where they don't have branches, your only option may be the online-only bank accounts. The states where PNC has branches includes Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and the District of Columbia. Next, we're going to discuss one of the most flexible forms of business financing available, and it can be a game changer for how you manage your cash flow, and that's going to be a business line of credit, which is very similar to a business credit card. You'll be approved for a max amount, and instead of receiving all the money at one time, like a traditional loan, you only draw from what you actually need, and you pay interest solely on the amount that you borrow, not the full amount that's available. So if you're approved for, let's say, $100,000, but you only pull $5,000, you'll only pay the interest on that $5,000. Now, that flexibility alone makes this one of the smartest options for any business. You can normally access the funds through the business checking account or directly from your mobile app, and in many cases, the money becomes available within 24 hours of your request. It's basically like having extra capital sitting on standby in your bank account, just ready whenever you need it. And unlike a term loan where you get a lump sum and start repaying interest right away, that business line of credit will just work more like a revolving account, so you only repay what you borrow and your available credit refreshes just like when you pay down a credit card balance. Depending on the lender, a business line of credit is often active for several months to several years. Now, in PNC's case, they typically check your credit periodically, usually with a soft pull to confirm everything is still in good standing. Now, if needed, they might require a reapproval or make adjustments based on your financial situation or broader economic conditions. Keep in mind, a bank can increase your limit or offer new financial products, or even on the flip side, reduce or revoke access to your line of credit. This usually only happens if your your credit health takes a turn for the worst or if the broader financial conditions shift, but it's just something you should be aware of. Now, let's go over some key data points when it comes to getting approved with PNC, whether you're applying for a business credit card or a business line of credit. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that when we go into these data points, if you're having any issues with your credit report, I recommend starting an account with Ryezing. Ryezing is an all-in-one credit repair platform. It gives you access to your credit reports and scores, and it shows you what may be hurting your credit. So if you want to take actions like disputing these accounts right from the website or the app, you can do so with Ryezing. And I would look at this as your 90-day improvement system, okay? Because it can take a few months for you to actually see results, especially if you're going through rounds. It also includes up to 24 months of rental and utility trade lines that can back report payment history, and this can help add 2 years of positive payment history account age to your credit profile. Right now, you can access your credit report through Ryezing for $1. There is a 7-day trial. You can look for the link down in the description, or there will also be a clickable link here on screen. PNC Bank will typically pull your Experian credit report. I have seen some reports of Equifax, but based on recent patterns, it's usually going to be Experian. Now, you would need to have at least a 680 FICO score. That is my recommendation to put you in good standing in order to get approved for this. So understand, you don't need to have a perfect credit profile, but it does mean they want to see clean history, no charge-offs, no collections, no late payment, ideally credit utilization ratio below 30%. I would aim for 10% if possible. Now, I've been banking with PNC for about 2 years, and man, some things just really do change. I want to tell you exactly what happened with me originally and then the things that are currently going on now. So if you want to increase your odds of getting approved, back in 2024 when I opened my account, I just opened up a checking, a business savings, and I deposited $25 every single week. And I did that for around 3 months, okay? I recommend doing that now for around 6 months. I know that's a long time, but if you can and you're not in a rush, I highly recommend that you do this. Now, for their business credit cards, recently I already seen someone get approved. They do not require any documentation, okay? That is a for sure thing, at least, at the time of recording this video in 2026. However, if your business is less than 2 years, the business line of credit will require the last 3 years of your personal tax returns. Now, again, I've called recently and I've verified that, but it seems like it depends on who you're talking to, because I've heard that people tried to do this same thing and then they were told that they actually needed 2 years of their business tax returns. Now, if you don't have that, that is okay. You can always get their business credit cards. That is not a problem. At the very least, if you do this right, you can probably get at least one credit card with a $25,000 limit and 0% APR. At best, you can walk away with $100,000, and I'll talk about that when we look at the credit cards. I also want to point out that PNC does not require you to open a business bank account in order for you to apply for their credit cards. Again, I recommend that you do. I recommend that you follow that process of leaving some money in the account, especially if your credit profile is thin. All right, currently we are on PNC.com. You can actually earn $400 at the time of recording this video when you open and use a new qualifying PNC business checking account. I just will go over this like really quick, but you can do this up to June 30th, 2026. This happens all the time with PNC. Like, they normally run this promotion, so it probably won't be like anything new to you, but I would always go with the business checking account. Again, you can get those 150 monthly transactions at no charge, $5,000 monthly deposits in cash at no charge. If not, it's $12 for the account, or it's $0 for the monthly account maintenance fee with qualifying activities. So I highly recommend just getting the business checking. However, if you want to deposit more money, you can look at the business checking plus. It really just depends on what you plan to put in the account. Now, at this time, PNC only has 2 credit cards available. They have really diminished their credit card offerings, but these are still 2 really good options. So the first one, and the main one that most people will be looking at, will be the PNC Cash Rewards Visa card. With this one, you get 0% APR, and that's going to be for 9 billing cycles. You can redeem cash back as a statement credit or deposit it into an eligible PNC business account. You can also add employee cards at no cost, and you can earn cash back on their spending. This one has no annual fee. Now, with this card, you can apply online. it will be the only PNC credit card now that you can apply for this way. Next, we have the PNC Business Options Visa Signature Card. This card also has no annual fee, and it is pretty unique. With this card, you have the option of using it as a revolving card where it has a credit limit, or you can use this as a charge card where there is no limit, but you have to pay in full every single month, and you can choose which way you would like to use this card. You can also earn an $800 statement credit after making at least $15,000 in qualifying purchases during the first 3 billing cycles following account opening. Now, there are only 2 ways to apply for this PNC card. You can either do it in branch, or you can also call and do it over the phone. Those are unfortunately the only 2 options for you. However, between both of these cards, you can get a $25,000 limit, so it can technically be up to $50,000. Unfortunately, on this business options card, you do not have the 0% APR. So next, let's take a look at the small business line of credit. You can access capital with fast, flexible funding, and you can also get a 1.0% off the standard rate. That is pretty good right now. With this line of credit, you can get anywhere between $10,000 and $100,000. No collateral is required, and you can transfer funds online by telephone or by writing a check against the line amount. Now, if you click on what you'll need to apply, it lets you know right here that if you have any available like promo codes or anything like that, you'll need to provide that. You'll need your business name, your type of organization, which of course you'll have all of that, your tax ID, your annual sales, your number of employees, and of course all of the normal information: name, home address, your social, your ownership percentage, all of the basic details. And then you'll also need your driver's license or some form of ID. And then it says here that you may want to have copies of your most recent business and personal tax returns and or financial statements to assist with completion of this application. So like I told you, I had personal tax returns that can be used for the last 3 years. If you have that, that should be enough to get you approved, but I do think that it's at the discretion of whoever you're speaking with. I will say if you ask them for $25,000 or less, then they usually will not need business tax returns. They will be comfortable with the personal tax returns and maybe some personal bank statements or business bank statements if you have them. What makes it even easier is if you just put money in the account. Like if you ask them for a $25,000 line of credit, but you put $25,000 into the bank account, you will most likely get that $25,000 credit card limit and that $25,000 line of credit. And you can always work your way up and ask for credit limit increases as you use it and pay it back. So that's going to be my recommendation for how you can qualify for this business line of credit in 2026. Once again, the information that I've gotten has been so mixed depending on who you speak with when it comes to PNC that I can't say for certain your experience will always be the same. What I can say is as long as you deposit a good amount of money into the account and you ask for $25,000 or less on the business line of credit, I have seen it approved with limited documentation or 3 years of personal tax returns. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you got any value from this, please drop that in the comments below. If any of you have recently been approved for the PNC business line of credit as well as their credit cards, please let me know in the comments what was your experience, what documentation did they request. For anyone watching this video right now, that would be very helpful information for them, especially with the changes that have happened with PNC in the recent months. If you guys have any questions for me, then again, leave those in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to answer those to the best of my ability and give you my personal experience when it comes to PNC. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.